Hello everyone. Today we're going to draw a portrait of Paul in a very special style. It's in a mosaic style. First, I like to start with guidelines in the center, vertical and horizontal. And then I'm going to draw half of a circle on the upper half of my page. So as you can see, it's a big rainbow. Leave a little bit room on the left and right side and also at the top. And then I will draw a nose. The nose looks like a little wide letter U, a little curve. And then half the side of the circle coming down a little bit more. And then I'm going to draw a big kind of like an oval shape from right underneath the nose to form the beard. After that, I'm going to start drawing the two eyes. I'm going to use circle for the eyes. And then I'll draw the pupil as smaller dots inside the eye. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. After the eyes, we have to, of course, draw some eyebrow for Paul. So I'm going to use a curved rectangle right above his eyes. Now I will draw the ears. From the left side and right side of the eyes, on the side of the face, we're going to draw like a letter C. And then a little big smile underneath the nose. I like to also add a little bit of hair on the side of his head. And he's going to be a little bit more bald at the top. After that, I will draw two curved lines extend to the side of the page. And if your head is a little bit small, then you don't have to extend all the way to the side. Then you can just draw the shoulder and then the arms coming downward toward the bottom of the page. Now I'm going to draw the shapes inside the face. First, on the top of the forehead, I will draw like a round shape following the contour of the top of the head, and then drawing across. You can see I'm making long, kind of like an oval shape, but I'm actually following the contour of the top part of the head. And I try to avoid touching all the other lines that I have already drawn, kind of like a puzzle. And then drawing each shape and the nose, you can see kind of like going around, going inside, underneath the eyebrow, maybe making a little small shape. Basically, I'm kind of like filling in the face with shapes, but without touching any other lines. Same thing for the beard. If you're still uncertain what I'm doing right now, you can look at the beard. The beard is a little bit have a bigger space. You can see it more clear. That I'm creating shapes going close to the outline, but not touching it yet. So just going toward the outline, but not touching yet, and then going back to create big shapes. Try to create bigger shapes so that it's easier for us to trace and color. Same thing for the ears. So basically all the skin tone part, I will draw another shape inside my already drawn lines. For the body, it's basically similar, but I'm just tracing not just inside the shape, but also using the edges of the paper to create big shapes. So as you can see, I'm creating shapes, big shapes, but not touching any of the other pencil lines, but getting close as possible, leaving a small gap in between them. Once I have finished tracing these shapes, I will start to trace it with markers. I picked a skin tone marker, a very light brown, and start to trace only the new shapes that I have drawn, not the original face. As you can see, tracing takes patience. We have to do it slowly so that the marker line does not go outside or inside the shapes. This has to be just on those lines and should not touch the other marker lines. For the eyes and eyebrow and beard, we don't have to trace them with the skin color. because they are not skin color. Now, onto the side, and I only have to trace the ears. Once we have finished tracing all the skin color, we can use a different color for the body. I chose a green here. You can choose any other colors you like. To remind everyone one more time is that the marker lines should not touch each other. You should still see a small gap in between the shapes. However, do get close to each other so that we can see the outline more clear. We can see the big picture a little bit more clear. And for the hair and beard, and eyes and eyebrow, I will use a black marker because I don't plan on coloring them. I do plan on making them just white, with the exception of the pupil. So the eyeball is white, but inside the eyeball, the pupil part is going to be black. So I will use my marker to color the inside of the pupil. With the marker, we have to be very careful with our lines because we cannot erase it. And because we cannot erase it, if we do accidentally make something that we're not supposed to or we don't want to, it's very difficult to fix it, as we cannot just erase it and redraw it. And speaking of erasing, once we have finished tracing everything, we need to erase all the pencil lines that we have drawn on the face. Even though we trace the shapes, but there are still pencil lines that we originally did. So as you can see, I did not trace the outline of the face. Instead, I just used the inside shapes to represent those. And then you can erase all the outlines so that we have a very clean, beautiful mosaic picture. Now I'm going to color in each shape with the colors that I traced with color pencil this time, so that it's a little bit lighter. And like I said, I'm not going to color in the beard, the eyebrow, and the hair. They're going to be a white hair. So there we go. So it's a very simple mosaic portrait of a person, and I'm going to name him Paul. So I'm going to write his name on the top in a mosaic style as well. I hope you like this video. I'll see you next time.